Hey everyone, wanted to let you know that I stream every day at 1 p.m. on Twitch, Kick, and right here on YouTube every single day. Please stop by and enjoy the video. Hello everybody, welcome to Destiny 2, kind of. I was going to do this in-game, but the servers are down. I forgot about the update today. Regardless, I'm going to be going over my builds that I will be taking into Crota's End day 1 on the Hunter. I will be playing Hunter, so that is what I will be showing. And I have a bunch of builds that I have all ready to go that I'm just going to port over to the loadouts thing once that gets re-enabled, hopefully today. I'm assuming it's today. So yeah, we are going to go over that. First of all, my main subclass I'm going to be running is Arc. You definitely want to worry, on day 1s at least, more about survivability over damage. Or, you know, over like speed running, let's say, right? You want to be able to survive longer so you can get to mechanics, so you can figure out mechanics, stuff like that. Just really simple stuff. So my main build I will be taking in is my Arc Ad Clear one that I have here, which is, obviously an Arc Strider. I'm not going to be really going into the nitty gritty for a lot of the builds, but you can see them, and then you can just copy the mods if you want to copy them. They're all tested, they're all really good. And yeah, they're pretty solid. I do have a few one solar, one strand, no, and then I think two void, no stasis. Stasis is kind of right now. So mainly Arc, especially for Hunter, it's just super strong especially for survivability, which is what you want in a day 1 or just in general. So yeah, it's on Arc. It's the 1-2 punch Assassin's Cowl melee build. Super simple stuff. And then I have, I guess, some like standout mods I have here would be, let's see, probably special finisher, so I can have lots of trace rifle ammo. This is for just getting adds weak or mechanics if you have to shoot anything, but definitely especially for weakening a target and then being able to melee them, because more often than not, if you're not at full stacks, you're not going to be one-shotting the low tier adds, especially in a day 1 where it's capped light. But yeah, so that we have, so we can get finishers, which will, with firepower, we'll be getting our stacks. You need 3 stacks for this. It's pretty easy if you're just meleeing everything. Alternatively, if you're going for more of a weapon type thing, you could go for like Arc Siphon here, but I choose to have Dynamo and then 2 hands on my helmet, just better. I'm using Proximity Ward, so when you finish, you get an overshield. So if you're about to die, you can pop that real quick. Get a finisher and maybe you'll survive. Just kind of, and it's a safety thing while you are finishing. So yep, that's pretty good. That's really it for the Arc Ad Clear. It's pretty simple. It's like the Arc build. Everyone uses this. The only real changes is, like I said, special finisher. So we have a little bit more ammo because obviously it will go long. The encounter can go long, and then proximity ward. In terms of weaponry I'm using for the build, I have a 1-2 punch shotty. Obviously I have my trace rifle here with volt shot. And then I'm using tractor cannon. Arc tractor cannon is really good for either if you're taking out like tanky majors, if you're debuffing the boss, be that, if that's a thing. I don't think Crota really, from what I remember, Crota doesn't really have too many boss mobs. I think there might be some ogres in the first encounter. Obviously, this is going off of D1 knowledge. Like first encounter, I know there was a couple ogres, so that might be good to debuff with your tractor. Second, I know there was the wizard in the main room before Crota, and then there's obviously Crota. They might change Crota to where he has to be damaged, so having a tractor cannon will be helped. Even if it is just a sword, the tractor cannon debuff might help with just swording him. Moving on, we have, I'm just going to go in kind of the order I made these, so excuse this. So we have our Arc DPS now, so if there is a DPS moment for Crota, Wizard, if there's a new boss, whatever, I have this Arc DPS to swap to here. So this is basically the same, it's all the same subclass nodes and all that, but I swapped to Izanagi's Burden, and then my Cold Comfort with Bipod and whatever the origin trait is called. And then I swap to Star Eater Scales. So this one, I change all to DPS related mods here. So Powerful Friends was just slotted in. I have an Arc Targeting, which shouldn't be there. That should be another, that should be two, what's it called? Kinetic Targeting, which will improve target acquisition, which doesn't matter. Accuracy doesn't matter. But the aim down sight speed, so you can just do it a little bit quicker, is really nice. I also have a Arc Dexterity and an Arc, or excuse me, Kinetic for all these. If I say Arc, I mean Kinetic. Kinetic Loader and Dexterity, so faster ready and stow speed, and then obviously faster reload on the Izzy shot. And then in terms of my surges, I have a Kinetic Surge, then 2 Stasis Surges. This shouldn't be here. This should just be like Reaper or something, so you can get some so you can get some primary or some charges if you don't have any, if you need to refresh. So this would be Reaper, and then like use a primary weapon here instead of a trace. I'll have to change that up, but yeah. So it's really all about damage. Go 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 go, and then you can swap back to a add clear build to do that, obviously. In terms of other arc related ones I have here, I have Aeons for right after a DPS phase. So we can build back up on ammo. It's basically just my Arc Ad Clear build here, but it obviously instead of Assassin's Cowl, it uses Aeons, so we can get ammo. I also have Finders and a Scout instead of like the Hands-On and the Dynamo, just to get even more ammo. Ideally, this would have an exotic primary instead, just so you can generate even more, but I think that would be kind of overkill. You're going to be getting a lot from this if you're finishing, high majors or bosses or whatever, and then, you've got the Finders and everything, so you should be fine. If you're noticing that you're not getting a lot of heavy ammo, or there's not a lot of things to finish with Aeons, you can swap to an exotic primary like Trinity Ghoul or like Sunshot or something, so that will help out with it even more. So that's definitely something to look forward to. In terms of other arc ones, we have a Malfeasance build. If you run out of all ammo, you have no special, you have no heavy, right, and you're just like, go, 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 go. I need to do damage, right, just to pump something out. If you're on Hunter, this is exclusive to Hunter, obviously, Malfeasance, Lucky Pants. Once again, this is the same. All the arc nodes are the same. No changes to any of these builds. But yeah, you want to use Malfeasance, Lucky Pants, Kinetic Targeting, Dexterity, Reload, Kinetic Siphons on your pants, all that. Once again, don't have this. I don't know why these are still here. Just do Reaper or something. But yeah, you just want to go, 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 just to get as much out as possible, just so you have damage in. This might get disabled or fixed this patch today in like the hour or so it is. Because it has a weird bug where it does both unstop and overload, because it's overload hand cannon this season in the artifact, but the blight it shoots after 5 shots does unstop, so it does both, and it shouldn't do both. It should just only do one. This might get and so it does like an extra like 50% damage or something crazy like that, on top of the Lucky Pants. So this might either get fixed or disabled. It's still going to be really good if it's fixed, so don't feel like you need the bug for it to be good. And if it gets disabled, just unfortunately you're gonna have to just use some sort of primary what's it called, Osterstriga or Outbreak Perfected will do just fine, because those are some good damage primaries, as well as maybe Touch of Malice now, but that's kind of iffy. It does do the most damage out of any primary, but it does do damage to you, so maybe standing in the well, that'd be fine. In terms of other things I have on Arc, that looks like it's not true, actually. We have a few things. We have movement here, which is just in between sections. I can put on some stompies. I've got a blind EGL, my sword, something to break shields with. Pretty simple. We have Radiant Dance Machines multi-dodge. This is another thing. If this is a comfortable thing for you to do, this is another way to do damage. And if there's ads nearby, like while you're in your rift or your well and stuff, this only works obviously if you're near enemies. So this is a good one for that. If the boss is relatively far away, so you don't blow yourself up, obviously with the rocket, right? But there are ads nearby. This is really, really good for that. This is just in case, for whatever reason that's a thing. It's basically the same as my arc DPS one, except obviously I'm using Radiant Dance Machines. This is good to swap to if after you use Starry to Scale. So just use that, and if you can use Radiant Dance Machines, use this, swap to this, hot swap to this, and then just go for it. Once again, anytime there's a special finisher on a DPS rotation, just replace that with like Reapers for upkeep or whatever, right? I don't know why that's there. Then we have Last Stand, which is kind of a unique pick. I've been seeing a lot of hubbub about Knucklehead Radar, because now Knucklehead Radar has what Foe Tracer used to have, so it's bonus damage against low health enemies. So if there's a Last Stand, once again, you are out of ammo, even if you're not. Even if, you need that, you just need to push damage, you've got ammo in your heavy or whatever. You just want to push damage and just go for it. Put on Knucklehead Radar, because it will, if enemies are below 30% health, grant 1% increased weapon and ability damage for every percent below 30. So 10 health percent HP left, that's 20% increased damage just for shooting at the boss. So this is really, really interesting to use. It's kind of a sleeper pick. So if you need that extra damage, you're just barely there, put that on, mixed it with your surges, mixed with, if you have ammo left, mixed with malfeasance or whatever primary you're using, right? Just to push that damage out. So that is a good choice indeed. And then I have a Strand and a Solar here. Solar is kind of a hybrid DPS ad clear where you can do both. If Solar is needed, once again, if you're finding that you're surviving fine without the kind of rotation that Arc brings, this is a good choice for that. Once again, this is kind of a hybrid thing, so it's damage here, and then you've got your ad clear here. Using Star Eater Scales, of course, for Blade Barrage. It's a bunch of things that gives you Radiant and Restoration upkeep, Healing Aid. Then, where is it? It should be here. It's not on for some reason. That's interesting. I thought I put that on. Oh well. Was it Ember of Beams that has your target acquisition with your supers better, so that will allow all the knives to hit the target instead of you having to really aim for it, which is really nice. Once again, just kind of oh yeah, you definitely want time dilation on all the damage ones. Instead of special finisher, do time dilation. That's what it should have been. I don't know why these aren't time dilation. I'll have to change that, but yeah. So that is super good. Strand. This is a Strand ad clear. Strand can be used for DPS. I just don't like using it. Obviously, you can reload with grapple or whatever, but I don't like doing that because the super is just not very good for DPS unless you're up close. So I don't really want to use that in a day one setting because then my super is wasted. I mean, yeah, I could use it for ad clear, but there's so many other ad clear options that aren't using a super, So I just have an ad clear build, using a rocket, a Strand auto. Using the new Whirling Maelstrom with, with Foe Tracer here. So every time, I think, damaging a powerful combatant with an ability grants you a temporary bonus to weapon damage, matching your subclass type. So that's why I have the rocket and the auto. And defeating that target with a weapon matching the damage type of your subclass creates an elemental pickup. So a Tangle, which we can shoot for Whirling Maelstrom. So once again, just kind of using perks for upkeep there. And then a Phantom Wisdom so we can get our super back for ad clear, So, yep, that's basically it for the builds here. Not a lot of crazy, whoa, like that's a meta, or that's a, off meta pick. This is just pretty standard stuff. Actually, I should go over the Void. Why don't I go over the Void? I have two Void. I have a Void ad clear. This is in case you can't tractor. You can't get close enough to the boss and tractor unless, if it kills you, So this is kind of the The alternative, if you really need, or if you just like playing Void with the, the invisibility, you don't really like meleeing, whatever. So we have a Void ad clear here with like Devour and all that, using a 1-2 punch shoddy, but this can be exchanged for whatever. I'm using a Hollow Denial with Repulsor Brace, so on kill against an enemy affected by a Void debuff, you get a 45 HP buff. I'm using Galahorn. Once again, this is kind of interchangeable, but you usually want to put your debuffer on Galahorn. This is using Gerfalcon's Helberg. So go invisible, get volatile, go invisible, get volatile. We all know, right? Once again, this is just kind of the general setup for that with special finisher, especially because you're using double special. Then I have the Void DPS, which will be double sniper, Galahorn, using Orpheus Rig. So if there are any adds, you can get your super back when you tether the boss. Once again, we're using 2 solar weapon surges for Galley and the sniper, and then a Void for some reason. I don't know why the Void is there. That should be like stasis or just another solar. So, yep. That is basically it for the builds. Just kind of general stuff. You should be able to see if you want to copy any of these. They're all right there. All named and everything. Once again, I'm going to be putting most of these into my whatever it's called, into my loadout system. I think there's 11 builds here, so wait, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Yeah, so I'll probably like forgo, like, I don't know, probably my movement one, quite honestly, because I can just hot swap or something, whatever. So yeah, that is it for the builds. We're gonna now move on to weaponry, which is kind of important as well. Once again, this is just on a hunter. Some of these are just universal picks for any class, but some of them are like specific to doing it on a hunter, whatever. So we're gonna start out with primary weapons, just in general, and I am gonna lump trace rifles with primary weapons because that's what you're using it for, right? So primary weapons, obviously, if you're running Strand, Quicksilver Storm is like the best option if you're not running exotic. If you're using Strand and you're not running an exotic, you won't probably want to use like the Immortal or the auto Rufus's Fury, this one, with probably Hatchling, but once again, just kind of something that works with your build. I have obviously Malfeasance in the primary slot for hunters. Once again, if you're not a hunter or you're not using Lucky Pants, just Osteo or Outbreak Prime, right? Or Perfected, whatever it's called in this game. Yeah. I have Lumina on my hunter here because, once again, they're kind of like the debuff buffer of the group here. So Lumina is really good. It gives you an even higher damage buff than Well does. So you can just shoot this at your teammates as they're doing damage. Then you can unload your damage, whatever, right? Or hot swap back to what you're using for damage, whatever. That's really good for that if it's needed. It's usually kind of like a low key meta pick where, it's like you're really getting every ounce out of it. It's kind of high maintenance, but it's worth doing if you need the damage. In terms of other primaries here, obviously we have our Arc Fusion or Trace if you're using an Arc subclass, Void if you're using a Void. If you're going for Solar, you can use the one from Dares of Eternity, or you can use the raid one from Root of Nightmares right here. Envious, or this is probably Incandescent Reconstruction is probably the best roll you can do. I do indeed have Trinity Ghoul, once again, just for ad clear. If you're using Solar, you can swap to Sunshot. I guess maybe if you're on Void and you're looking for like a primary like that and you're not just going to use Hollow Denial, if you're using an exotic, you want to use an exotic primary that's Void. I'd say I don't have it here, but Le Monarch is pretty good. Graviton Lance can be okay. That does some decent damage. But yeah, so yeah, that's really it for primaries. Not too crazy. It's a primary weapon, right? It's not like you're doing damage with it or anything like that. Unless it's Malfeasance. Or you really don't have any other choice. So yeah, we're going to move on to secondaries. I have, obviously, the 1-2 punch shotgun. We'll really want that, especially if you're running Arc. I have Izzy, which is my main sniper for damage. Arbalist for breaking shields and for anti-barrier knights, which will almost definitely happen if, you know, if it's a hive raid, right? Same kind of thing with conditional finality. It does really good damage, and it will stun, what's it called, on stops with the freeze or the ignition. I have a blinding GL as well as a waveframe GL in the primary slot and in the secondary slot, as well as I should have. There might be a swap here that I do, but two slug shotguns to do damage with as well, because that's really, really good. Same with snipers. I'll have, there should be another sniper here as well. I usually use, for the slugs, I use Heritage and then First In, Last Out. Both with like auto-loading or some sort of auto-loading thing, so you can just bam, 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 you know. Use those with Tractor. Tractor, boss, boom, 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 boom. Tractor goes down, Tractor, boom, 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 you know, type thing. Then snipers, yeah, I use the Ekilos SR with Focus Fury and 4th times the charm. And then if you're using another sniper, so like double sniper, galley, I use that that stasis one, this one right here, yeah. With firing line 4th times the charm. You can also use, like, if you have one, Pray This Revenge, anything like that, right? So those are good choices for that. In terms of energy secondary special weapons, Forbearance, big. This is like the ad clear weapon. If you're ad clearing, use this. Let's see what else we got. We have Cloud Strike, once again, just kind of another pick in case we need it. I have the Eremite, which is, you has controlled burst and Envious Assassin you want here. Really, really good. Good damage if you're doing double fusion, so that and like Riptide or Deliverance, maybe. Oh, I'm only missing one of those. Stuff like that. So that is pretty good. I have 4th Horseman, once again, for bursting down champions, majors, bosses, if need be. And then Mindbender's Ambition, in case we need double pellet shotguns, which is also pretty good. Moving on to the heavy weapons here, we have a few. This is my main rocket here. Now, this is just my main rocket. This is the best one I have in terms of DPS. The best one you could probably use would be Apex Predator with bait and switch and probably field prep or whatever. So that is the, oh no, reconstruction and bait and switch. So it has 4 rockets in the mag, yeah. So that is the best one you could use. This one is only slightly worse, I'd say, because if you get a finisher or revive an ally, that just, as long as you don't die, will stay there until you shoot the rockets. It doesn't matter how long, there is no timer. As long as you get a finisher or revive an ally and you're not dying, it will stay. So you fire 2, with bipod, you fire 2 rockets, and auto reloads with 2 more rockets. You fire those rockets, and then if you're on Hunter, you can dodge with Marksman's Dodge and fire 2 more rockets. So you can fire 6 rockets in like 5 seconds, right? So that's really, really good. So this is kind of my way of doing that reconstruction roll, just because I don't have it. So that works out very, very well. I have other half for movement. This one, once again, is just for my Strand build, if I end up using that. It has bipod. Can't really do the same thing as this, where you get a finisher, because it's not, obviously doesn't have the same origin perk. But you can, if you crouch and then stand up real fast, you can reload it faster, so that's a thing, I guess. I have Xenophage, just in case. Leviathan the Breath, just in case. Obviously Tractor for the debuff, if we can. Galahorn, in case I'm put on Galahorn to buff other people's rockets, obviously. I have Commemoration for ad clear. This is really, really good. This is good on any build, but especially if you're running like a volatile Gare Falcons build. Lament, if there's a lamentable boss. And then Parasite, if we need like high burst damage in like a closed window. I don't really see things like linears being too important or needed. Same with like legendary swords, but if you do, this sword is pretty good from last season, as well as do I have one? I should. Bequest is also pretty decent. It's a good legendary option for damage. In terms of other things, like, yeah, nothing. Whisper of the Worm's probably not going to be too needed. But yeah, that's really it for weapons as well. There's some interchangeable things, I guess, if you really want them. Obviously, like, if you're running a solar build and you want a solar grenade launcher, you know, explosive personality, right? Just little things like that where it's like, yeah, these are the best, but if you're using a build that requires something else, just use something else, right? You don't need to follow these to a T. Like, funnel web should be in my inventory. Or, no, I can't. So, just small stuff like that, you know. Uh, Primaries, if you want to use different primaries, whatever, as long as it matches what you need, you know. Don't follow these things to a T, but if it's something that you need and you need to substitute, just substitute it. If you don't have the best thing, just make a educated substitute, right? If you don't have, you know, you don't have funnel web, use the one from the dungeon. If you don't have the one from the dungeon, use funnel web, stuff like that, right? Just little things like that. If you don't have the raid solar thing, go get a one from the Retrust Path from Dares of Eternity, right? Just, you can substitute things, or you can, you know, make adjustments to your build that make sense, and for you, for your playstyle, for your team, stuff like that. But yeah, these are the kind of things I will be taking into the raid for different. Really, it's about covering your scenarios, stuff like that. Maybe a bow if you need long, or a scout if you need long range. I would probably recommend a bow. Well, scouts are pretty good, but either or. So that's basically it. Just kind of cover your bases, what you need, and then it will be okay. So yeah, that's basically it for the video. If you guys enjoyed and want to see some more, if you want me to do the other characters, let me know. I'll be running in with Hunter, though I do have Warlock set up if we need Warlock. I just need to infuse a few things. I do have Warlock ready to go if need be. So yeah, and try to keep your inventory clean, right? Like that's kind of the thing with this is, don't, if you're not using loadouts, I guess if it doesn't matter, but if you're not doing the loadouts, or the loadouts are being goofy, because they'll probably be goofy, just knowing Bungie, right? Try to keep your inventory clean of things. So like this helmet's going into this, so I'll only have the helmets that I'm going to be wearing. Same with gauntlets. This is going into this. I only have 2 pairs of gauntlets. The Oculus is just, I didn't make a build for this, but swapping to this just in case, what's it called? We need to like get past an encounter, right? Just walk past, like the open encounter. This might be helpful, right? Just to run past a bunch of thrall or whatever. So, but yeah, like I said, just kind of keep what you need in your inventory if we're going to be manually swapping like that, instead of, you know, instead of having like a bunch of like random stuff they're not using for the build. Like I had like that, I had this in here for some reason, right? Just keep it clean so you can, you know, easily swap, or you know what you're looking at, right? Same with weapons. Like I have a bunch of weapons now, but like if you're going through the thing and you're like, okay, I definitely don't need these for this raid, just take it out, right? You don't need to have a full inventory, you know, and just, you know, have it there in case you need it, right? Type thing. So that's basically it for the video. Let me know if you want the other characters. I hope you guys have fun on day one. I know I hopefully will, as long as there's no like issues. I guess there hasn't been like major issues. Like I know on VOW it was pretty bad, but like every other raid since then has been pretty solid. So it's been a lot of fun playing. So day ones are usually pretty solid content to watch and to play, to participate in. So I hope everyone has a great time, be that playing or watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm planning on doing some build videos outside of what I was just showed. Though, besides the Strand, I want to do some Strand ones. There's a couple Banner War builds I want to do as well. So, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.